Fans of Twisted Metal know that the series set the standard for car combat games. Recently, Sony Computer Entertainment convinced the creator of the series, Dave Jaffe, to design a new, darker, more intense version of the game for the PlayStation 2. The result? Twisted Metal Black.
The series began as a design idea that me and another designer, Mike Yam, had back in '93 or '94. And from there, I jumped on the project with a developer who at the time was called Single Track in Utah. And I was the lead designer and director of that title and the sequel, Twisted Metal 2. After Twisted Metal 2, another entirely different group began working on Twisted 3 and Twisted 4. And their take on the game was different than ours.
Most people felt that the third and fourth installments of Twisted Metal did not live up to its predecessors. From what we've seen so far, what's going to separate Twisted Metal Black from the rest of the pack is its storyline. Think Silence of the Lambs meets Seven. The characters are not only more developed, but decidedly more twisted than ever before.
Twisted Metal Black basically takes place in an asylum called Blackfield Asylum. And in that location, you've got 14 characters that are there for various reasons. Some are there because they've murdered other characters, some are there because they're simply psychotic, and others are there for entirely mysterious reasons that you don't really know until you play that character and sort of discover their backstory and their history. Calypso, who's this sort of character we based on Hannibal Lecter from The Silence of the Lambs, basically breaks them out looking for contestants for the Twisted Metal contest from the asylum. And he offers them pretty much anything they want if they'll play his contest, and the winner basically gets anything that their sort of heart and soul desires, which sort of in the tradition of Twisted Metal doesn't really turn out always to be exactly what they thought it was going to be. But besides the storyline, what we really wanted to do was focus on the deathmatch. So to that end, in the one-player game, we have our basic story tournament mode where you pick a character and sort of go through the world with that character. Then we've got endurance mode where we basically drop you into a level and there's no health, and we basically bring one car after another, after another, after another, and we try to figure out how many that you can get through before you basically get killed. And then in the multiplayer mode, we have traditional deathmatch, we have 2 to 4 player deathmatch, then we also have co-op mode where 2 players can go through the story mode together. But they all really are focused more on deathmatch.
Thought the Twisted Metal games had a cool look and feel? You've not seen anything yet. With the technology of PlayStation 2 at their demented disposal, the team was able to create whatever its collective imagination desired.
As we started to look at some of the specs on the PlayStation 2, we began to realize that we could actually create a game that fulfilled all of the fantasies we had had back in '93 when we first came up with the idea of a Twisted Metal game. We've got clouds rushing overhead that creates this kind of eerie feel. We've got trash and dead leaves blowing through the streets, firefights on crowded freeways with moving traffic, real-time weather and night and day changing, actually being able to see your characters in their cars and in some instances have them sort of exit the car and do certain kinds of attacks.
We have a lot of memory, a lot of processing, so you'll see a lot more interactivity, a lot more destructibility. I think in one of our levels we're up to, I don't know, close to 1,000 different things you can destroy.
Not only are there more things to destroy, but there are a lot more ways to destroy them. In Twisted Metal Black, you will come face to face with a lethal array of new weaponry.
In Twisted Black, we've made a real effort to build a significantly deeper weapons system and weapons structure.
You can use them, of course, as fire and forget, and they'll have a lot of next generation capabilities. But for the skilled player, there's multiple ways that you can use some of the specials.
Like the satellite attack. As you launch the weapon, these missiles shoot up out of your sunroof into the sky, and they start coming down towards the ground. And if you can get the enemy in the reticle when the missiles fall sort of on their own accord, you do significantly more damage, but it's significantly more challenging to do than if you basically launch them and bring them down immediately.
discover the dark, sinister world of Twisted Metal Black and come out screaming for more.
The windows are shaking, pictures are falling off the wall. And it just sounds like the battle is going on in your living room. It's just unbelievable. We're excited to release this to the universe.